Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I had a brief interlude, but your girl needed it, trust. So today we are going to be talking about another think tank video because it is the gift that keeps giving stupidity. So another weird thing that I noticed is that they have 1.3 million subscribers, but their videos get like less views than mine, which is weird since my channel is like a tiny fraction of that, which means the channel is hopefully dying. We all can hope. Anyways, before we begin, I wanted to show you today's fan art. Thank you so much for drawing this. I really like the eyes. I don't know what it is about the eyes, but I really like them, and I think the expression is totally my typical expression. So thank you so much for drawing this. Their link will be in the description as always. So this video is about a restaurant in trouble for Bruce and Caitlyn Jenner pictures on their bathrooms. Be prepared for Hannah to get insanely riled up.
A restaurant in Texas is taking some heat for the way that they have presented their men and women's bathrooms. Now, the restaurant is called Doty's Place, and they recently put these pictures on their women's restroom and their men's restroom. And as you can see, Caitlyn Jenner's picture is on the left and Bruce Jenner is on the right. Now, obviously, this is extremely offensive and transphobic. And
okay, the first thing I'd like to note is a lot of people in the comments were asking, how is this transphobic? How is this offensive? And that is my same exact question. Because when we talk about transphobia, let's just look up the definition for kicks. Transphobia is the intense dislike or prejudice against transsexual or transgender people. So where in this do we see that? Where? Also, aside from that, to me, it seems like it's particularly accepting of it because it's saying, hey, Bruce Jenner accomplished a lot of things when she was still a he in the Olympic athlete sphere. And then on the women's, it's like now Caitlyn Jenner has transitioned and is in a new part of her life, and we respect both of those. Honestly, if it were transphobic, don't you think it'd be trying to poke fun, or don't you think they'd put Bruce Jenner on the door of the women's or something? Like, I don't see how this is offensive, to be honest. And people in the comments agree with me, so that should say something.
people kind of called this out, and so the restaurant apologized. I think we might be able to call it that. So I'm going to read you their apology, and then I'm going to rip it to shreds. They said, first and foremost, our intention was not to make fun of or offend anyone when we installed the pictures of Bruce and Caitlyn on our bathroom doors. Okay? It was merely a lighthearted gesture to push back against the political correctness that seems to have a stranglehold on this country right now. I feel like there's this weird trend of like, okay, I can be really offensive to this group and be insensitive to this group, and then if I get called out on it, I'll just be like, oh, you guys are too PC. I mean, I think there's a huge trend of that.
But he does make a point that it is encouraging discussions. That was the point I did like.
We believe that political correctness has done more to silence rather than encourage important discussions that our society probably needs to have. I'll keep reading. Based on the mind-boggling feedback, both positive and negative, people are having that discussion. However, name-calling and words like transphobic, deviant, racist, homophobic, bigot, etc. serve nothing but to continue to divide us instead of uniting us. You know what divides us instead of unites us? Is when you put a picture before somebody's transformation and they're going through that process, and then you put a picture of their after and you put it on a restroom. That's what divides us, not calling out your T-word transphobic behavior.
There is something deeply infuriating about how Hannah talks to us as if we're stupid or children, when in reality the stupid person here is her and this entire channel. The co-host, I forgot her name, I'm sorry, she seems to have her feet on the ground because she's like, look, they're saying that they're starting a discussion. And I completely agree, and I agree, you guys know, I agree on the PC thing too, because we're having that discussion. If a place were truly transphobic, why would they put anyone of trans pictures or anything anywhere? Or if they did put them, why would they say fuck transphobic people? Like, it's nonsensical that they're trying to find offense in this. Even people of the LGBTQ community in the comments were like, I thought this was funny, I didn't take offense. Like, this channel is the exact example of why being PC is ruining everything. There's a difference between being respectful and boohooing about everything. This category is boohooing about everything. And in Black Bear's words, I'm do-re-mi so fucking done with this channel. I swear to God, it is the most infuriating thing to watch. I think everything that they said in their statement was completely valid, and for her to say that it was like a fake apology, it's because it's not an apology. They're saying this is what we intended to do, and if you read it the wrong way, maybe that's on you.
Continue. After all, we are all part of the same race, the human race. Surely we can discuss this topic and many others without slapping hurtful labels on each other. You were the person who put a hurtful label on the bathroom. I don't understand. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Because I'm gonna call you out for what you did, you're gonna be like, oh, now you're hurting my feelings. Sounds like somebody's feeling a little snowflakey. Continuing, please know that we are here to discuss this and move forward as a community. Everyone is welcome here. If you want to have a discussion about transitioning and talking about the trans community, I'm all for that. We do that a lot on the show. We've had a lot of trans guests on the show. You know I am all about that. But doing it on a bathroom label in a Cajun restaurant in Dallas, Texas is not the way we're gonna do that. And then blaming PC correctness for the way that people have called you out because this is inappropriate. No.
I don't know who it was, but there was a defender of this whole bathroom incident. And he goes, well, isn't this what the transgender community wants? We're identifying them now as what their gender is, a man or a woman. This should be something that we should be supportive of. And it does undermine the whole that's concept of what it is to be transgender.
Right.
Is just because Bruce Jenner was a man at one point doesn't mean he didn't identify himself as a woman.
Yeah, so, I mean, like that is the root of it. I think that's a really, really good point that you're making there, because it is really important to look at, like, Bruce Jenner spoke about during this time and when he transitioned into Caitlyn, they spoke about like always feeling like a woman.
Yeah.
And so just because biologically she was a man for a period of her life, she's now a woman. And so she identified as a woman inside, and to split it up like that on the men's and the women's restroom really just, I guess, ignores the entire concept of being trans.
Okay, so first of all, Hannah said PC correctness, political correctness. Anyways, her brain in a nutshell, or lack thereof. So they're saying that by putting a picture of when Caitlyn was Bruce, they're ignoring the struggle. And the reality is that you're seeing it that way because you want to be offended, because I saw it as a celebration of who Caitlyn was when she was Bruce and who Caitlyn is now being Caitlyn. Also, one thing that we can't really ignore is that Bruce Jenner was in the public eye far before she was transgender, and she also had a huge Olympic career. So they're also giving that person credit for their huge and successful Olympic career. So I think that if they hadn't put a picture of the Olympic career, they'd be like, oh, you're only putting the picture of transgender Caitlyn because to you that's all she is. She's just transgender. What about all her other accomplishments? So it's just kind of like you can't really win here. And it's funny because anytime, I think the other girl's called Ava, if I remember correctly. Anytime she brings up points against it, you can just see Hannah fuming because there are very valid points against it, and they're celebrating this human. I feel like if they were being transphobic, they wouldn't include any trans humans. It's like you ask for representation, and then there is representation, and it's not good enough. So what the hell are we supposed to do? Honestly, what the hell are we supposed to do?
And it is offensive. I'm sorry, like it is. And I understand that we need to have room for conversation, and I want to facilitate that and I want to encourage that.
Right.
But doing it in this way, they were trying to be funny. They pretend they were being welcoming to the trans community is such a smokescreen that it's absurd.
And he still hasn't taken it down, even after all this attention. There was, I think there was a tweet or something he mentioned too. He was like, I was waiting for the media to finally call attention to this. So it was as if he was doing it for some sort of like
he's
public
trying to
shaming.
capitalize on the trans community. That is so gross. Oh, that is disgusting.
What Caitlyn Jenner would say to this, though. I really wonder what her reaction would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would she find it somewhat amusing, or would she think it's somewhat?
I mean, when you look at like all of the costumes that came out as like the Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner Halloween costumes and things like that, I mean, the trans community finds that deeply offensive, right?
The fact that they're saying that the owner of this place, was trying to capitalize on it, he said the comment about the media because he knows people like you like to look into it and get all offended. That's why he was like, I was waiting for the media to freak the fuck out over something that isn't even offensive. So he wasn't trying to capitalize. And this is the thing. If we want to normalize things, we need to represent them. So you can always choose to see capitalizing the same way that if they put a transgender person in a show, if people choose to have your fucked up mindset, they're gonna be like, oh my God, they're capitalizing on it. When in reality, it's like, hey, representation, isn't this what you want? There's about 1 minute left and they've already made the same points over and over again. So, I'm gonna link this as always. You can look into it, you can look at the comments and their views and laugh about this. Anyways, I'd appreciate your point of view. I also think it's interesting that they don't include anyone trans in this conversation, since I feel like they're probably the people who would better tell if it's offensive or not, but I digress. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think and I'll see you next time.